You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
Thank you so much, Wes. Man, I miss that guy. Like, Wes was one of our engineers here in the office. He's now working remotely because he thought it'd be a good idea to move to like Charlottesville, Virginia or something. Anyway, love that guy. He recorded that for me and I appreciate him. Wes, I miss you. Okay, just thought I'd throw that out there. But hey, Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode number 95, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Mania, right there on Highway 64. If it has doors, it can be yours at Kelly's Automotive. I'm telling you, love me some Kelly, love me some Dakota, some fantastic gentlemen over there, and they're ready to get you put inside a vehicle or maybe even wrap you in a shed. Yes, I got a shed from Kelly. I got a car from Kelly, and I am overly thrilled with my purchases and the purchasing experience. Sometimes that's part of it, is the experience that you have with the individuals. And I'm telling you, A+. Love it so much. Visit them online at kellysobxauto.com. Yes, we're at 95 episodes deep, coming up on 100 episodes. Man, you know what? I got to figure out this 100th episode. I really, really do. I got to get up with my guy Adam up in Virginia, and we're going to nail some things down. Hopefully I can get that done over Christmas and have some thoughts and things to be able to put out to you all in regards to what the 100th episode is going to be like, because I want to do it somewhere and I want everybody to come party with us. I want it to be like a 100th episode party. Got to figure out the right plays. I'm going to talk to Mr. Adam because he's been one of my P1 day one listeners, and like he texts me every week in regards to the podcast. So I'm going to include him on this. So that's coming up right around the corner. But hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do one shout out real quick prior to my shout out section. And I want to shout out to Two Roads Tavern, a.k.a. McAllister's Corner. That's what it is right now for the 12 Bars Christmas. We went there last Wednesday evening for my wife's birthday, and we had an absolute blast with the trivia, the Home Alone trivia that they did. Absolutely phenomenal. We had a great time, enjoyed it, laughed, cut up. She had fun. My oldest, Austin, he actually ended up winning the contest that night, knowing the Home Alone trivia. He was beating the adults. And I mean, that movie came out, 20 some years before his existence. So yeah, I mean, he was in there schooling everybody. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. So I want to shout out to Two Roads and all the 12 bars that are working so hard this year. That is super cool. Two Roads is super cool. Oh gosh, I did something this past weekend that was I was like, ugh, man, I wasn't nervous about it until I actually got on stage. But we did our church Christmas program at Wanchi's Assembly over the weekend, and I had to play the part of Joseph. Okay, I was like, man, Joseph is kind of a portly Joseph here. Okay, Mary's a very good cook, so just keep that in mind. I was like, gosh, this is I envisioned Joseph to be like a skinnier, younger guy, and here I am, 40, salt and pepper gray hair, and about 240-ish pounds. It's like, it's not the Joseph I had in mind, but hey, it's the Joseph that you were stuck with over the weekend. But hey, I had to sing a song called Joseph's Lullaby, and that was nerve-wracking, but I got through it. And I appreciate all of those that were in attendance the other day for the performance. And it was just a lot of fun. I enjoyed just all of it. But again, when I had to sing, I got a little nervous. I could feel my voice shaking, but my mom was like, I couldn't tell. And I was like, okay, good. So that was a good time. Temperatures right now here around the area, up and down. They're all over the place. 1 minute it's 30 degrees and blowing. The next minute it's 60 degrees and sunny and light southwest wind. Mother Nature's still trying to figure out what season it wants to be in. But hey, it won't be too much longer before we don't see temperatures getting out of the mid-50s, higher than the low to mid-50s during the day, and possibly colder. We won't see the 60s again after this month. I would say probably March. I don't know. It all depends. I mean, we get warm snaps from time to time, and everybody's preaching about global warming these days. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out the weather because it's not in my job description. I don't get paid to do that. But hey, something I'm super excited for over the Christmas, New Year's holiday is the fact that bowl season is here. Yeah, college football bowl games and the college football playoff starts this coming weekend. And I'm probably going to get ridiculed for this, but I'm going to go ahead and call it, okay? Of all the teams that are in there, let's see. Let me look real quick. I got a sheet right here for college football playoffs. We've got In the first round, you've got Clemson taking on Texas. You got Tennessee taking on Ohio State. You got Southern Methodist University, or SMU, taking on Penn State. Then you got Indiana taking on Notre Dame. And the winner of those games, one of them's going to go play Arizona State, Oregon, Boise State, or Georgia in the second round. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say that my prediction for the winner of the college football playoff this year is going to be the Ohio State University. I'm going to call it. Am I an Ohio State fan? No, I'm not. I'm really not. But I said it at the beginning of the year, and I'm sticking to it. It's like Lee Corso picked Texas. I'm taking Ohio State to win the national championship. You heard it first here on the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Okay, hey, I was talking about some of the other bars and from the 12 bars, but joining me today is a gentleman who's been on with me a couple of times before. His name is Joel. Joel from the Wreck Tiki Bar down in Hatteras Village. Now, Joel he has been touring all of the Misfit Bars. And Joel is going to join me today on the podcast to talk about his experiences at each of the Misfit Bars. He was up for the challenge, and he and his wife and a few others decided to embark on a journey to conquer all the Misfit Bars and to come on here and tell me about them. So really looking forward to hearing his reviews on all the Misfit Bars. That's coming up in just a little bit. I was thinking about the news. Really not a lot of news that's jumping off the page at me at the moment. But for all news, and my man knows the news, and that's Grand Slam. Woo! Sam Walker. It's Sam Walker, OBX News. .com. I want to thank Santa Claus for coming down and visiting me from the North Pole last week. Santa Claus came in. He didn't come in on his sleigh, though. Okay. He has a vehicle that he can use in different places. Anyway, long story short, thoroughly enjoyed having him on. What a fun guy. Honestly, if you know Santa Claus, you know how fun he is. I appreciate Santa coming in from the North Pole and hanging out with me before he makes his merry trip here in less than a week. Captain Marty, that's another jolly soul right there. Old Captain Marty, we're getting ready to launch his, we're going to start it out once a month, and we may do more, but we're going to relaunch his Saturday show that he used to have on FM radio, and it's going to be Marty and myself, and we're going to be doing some of the same phone calls and things like that and talking to some of the same people. Looking for sponsors for it, so if you want to be a sponsor of Captain Marty, email me, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com, and I will get you the information on how you can be a sponsor of Captain Marty. Lots of different things come along with it, but we're really excited for what's to come with our captain in 2025. So Captain Marty, oh man, you just wait. 2025 is going to be a lot of fun. Going to take a quick break. Hey, but when we come back, I got one shout out I want to give to a certain couple whom I knew that they listened, but I didn't know they listened as much as they did. And I found it out at my nephew's birthday party last week. So I'm going to shout out to them. But first, hey, for all of your diesel performance needs, I can't talk. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance would love to help you. When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. Yes, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. Yeah, familiar voice. Yeah. Well, and my buddy Ryan Walker, one of my best friends in the world, man, he owns that shop. And let me tell you something. He has made, that was his vision. I'm not even kidding. It says it in the spot that over 20 years ago, he had this vision. Well, it's true. That is a true story. He developed the concept for Wanchi's Off-Road when we were in high school. The man knows his stuff. So, WR Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Get up with my guy. He would love to look under your hood. Again, shout outs. Hey, if you listen to the podcast, let me know. Podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. I want to shout out to Dave and D Bragg. Okay, Dave and D, they go hang out with my brother Dirt a lot of times over at the Lost Colony Waterfront Beer Garden. Super, super kind, super sweet people, and they actually go and do and see some of the things that I talk about in the podcast. And I saw them at my nephew's birthday party last week, and we were talking like we normally do whenever I see them. We talk and cut up, and they said, yeah, we went and did this with the podcast, went and did that with the podcast. You talked about this on the podcast. We went and did it. They stopped by Buffalo City Distillery and got some bourbon from there or whatnot. And I just thought it was really neat. And I was like, wow, okay. I knew you guys listened from time to time, but I didn't know you listened as much as you did. So I want to shout out to Dave and D Bragg for being faithful listeners of the podcast, y'all. Thank you so much for listening and for just going and doing and seeing. I mean, it means a lot to me. It really does. And all of you that listen on a regular basis, don't think you're forgotten. I really appreciate all the love and support we've been getting here at Outer Banks this week for the podcast. Our numbers are continuing to boom. I'm very thankful for having the opportunity to give you guys some information, to help you find things to do, to help you learn about different elements of the communities here on the Outer Banks. That's been a lot of fun for me. So those of you that listen on a regular basis and learn more and more about the different places here and things to do on the Outer Banks, it warms my heart. So thank you all, Dave and Dee, for being such dedicated listeners. And again, if you're a listener, I'd love to give you a shout out. Podcast at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, it's time to talk to Joel. He'll be coming in here in just a few moments to give us his Misfit Bars review. But, hey, still a little bit of time left for that Christmas shopping, and what better gift than the gift of a book from Hatteras Island for that reader in your life. You can get a book from Miss Jan Dawson, author Jan Dawson, Hooked on You, or Storm Season are out right now. She's got more on the horizon, but I'm going to let her tell you more about them right now.
Don't you want to unwrap a bit of summertime this holiday season? It might be cold outside, but it's time to head to the Outer Banks in 2 Jan Dawson Hatteras Island romance novels that are sure to warm your heart. Find your favorite reading spot and snuggle up to an old love rekindled in Storm Season, or a new romance after heartbreak in Hooked on You. Storm Season even has a Christmas ending. Make sure Santa has these books at the top of your list, or make someone's holiday OB Extra special. Available at all Outer Banks bookstores or on Amazon. Just search Jan Dawson.
All right, he's here, the man, the myth, the legend, the owner, operator, president, CEO, the Wreck Tiki Bar and Food down in Hatteras Village at Hatteras Landing. Joel Sheingold, everybody. Woo! So Joel, let's rewind a little bit. So about a year ago or so, Joel and I had a discussion that he was going to review the 12 bars. Okay, well, all of a sudden, the Misfit Bars popped up, and we kind of changed course.
Right. It started with, we did, around this time last year, we did what to look forward to in the Outer Banks in 2024.
That's right.
Hard to believe that was a year ago.
I know.
That went by very fast. And a lot of good things happened in the Outer Banks in 2024. I think it was a very good year. And, you know, for us, we are now living up here at Nag's Head. We've moved up here. Business is still, the business is still a business down there, and that's not going anywhere.
Okay, good. I was going to say, you still have the Wreck, though, correct?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Love the Wreck. And we are closed for the season. We're going to reopen back in March. So since we are closed for the season, we are up here in Nag's Head. It afforded the opportunity to do something a little bit different. And instead of doing something like what to look forward to in 2025, let's talk about these very cool bar tours that are going on around the Outer Banks, because there's always something unique and different happening in the Outer Banks. I think that these bar tours are one of those things. Last year we talked about this, and we're like, the 12 bars is something that we should probably talk about.
Right.
And we conceptualized that plan.
Yeah.
During the course of the year, the Misfits popped up, and that's just a little bit different. And so we went all in on the Misfits. I got my Misfits pint glass. I got my Misfits lager brewed by Swelza.
Okay, Swelza.
I'm going to be sipping on that while we're talking.
Well, let me, before we jump really deep into this, I want to try this lager.
Oh,
okay,
it's good.
Graciously poured me some in one of these Misfit glasses.
We have this Festive Yeti right on the
Festive
can,
Yeti, and you said Swelza brewed this, correct?
Swelza brewed this. So Swelza is one of the 15 And they were like, "Hey, let's brew some beer
That's tasty.
for all of these bars to serve." So I did not go to one of the Misfit bars that didn't have this lager available, which is pretty cool. They have their own beer, but there was a lot of good drinks to try. So sometimes I got the lager, sometimes I got one of the craft holiday cocktails, which I will get into later. But this is a good place to start. Let's start with Swelza.
Start with Swelza. Let's talk about it.
Swelza is a place we know about. So Jess and I started putting Swelza on our lines down at the Wreck about 2 years ago, and it started doing very well. And at first, it didn't have distribution because they're still kind of new and they're growing. We would pick up the kegs and we would drive them back down. And now they have a little bit of distribution. It's a little bit easier to do that. I actually have a keg of Swelza on my kegerator back at the house right now.
Oh,
because I like it
nice.
so much. But they do some really interesting things with beer. And if you go there, they have between 10 and 15 beers on draft always. And they're all really, really good. And they come up with some fun names, and they do some things that are a little bit different, and they kind of stand apart from all of the other really good breweries that are down here. So we're happy to continue working with them to put their beer in our line. So we went there. This was actually my first Misfit bar that I went to.
Okay.
And we went. It was actually a fundraiser for the Outer Banks Montessori Collective that was happening that night. And my oldest will be starting at that Montessori in January. So
Very
it's kind of
nice.
fun being there. And all the parents were there. It was kind of bustling, and it was it was a nice crowd, people all around. People were sort of in the spirit. It's a good way to kick this tour off. People were in the holiday spirit.
Very
while
nice.
we were there for charity or for the Montessori. There was a nice where you silent auction that was going on upstairs, and that is where I proudly won my Wawa gift package.
I
You
see
can
the
here.
Wawa. Very
Isn't it
nice.
beautiful? It was a glorious
It is,
Wawa.
little Wawa lunchbox cooler
so it
type
has
thing
nice
going on
Wawa
there.
Stuff. So I saw that one. I was like, I gotta go in on that one.
Nice.
Luckily, I won. But while we were there, I sampled several Swelza beers, all of them good. And it's just a really fun place to go and hang out.
Which,
Super comfortable in there.
other than the Misfit beer, which one did you like the best?
Jimmy Buffett ruined my life.
Jimmy Buffett ruined my
And
life.
it happens to be one that's when we have that on down at the Wreck, that keg kicks faster than most of the other kegs we have. Everyone loves that one. It's a double IPA, so a little more high test, but doesn't feel like a double IPA.
See, I'm not an IPA guy. Like when I drank on a regular basis, I just couldn't do the IPAs.
This one might surprise you. It'll put some hair on your chest, but like it's very drinkable at the same time. And it won some kind of major award. Off the top of my head, I can't think of what it was, but there was some sort of world beer competition. There's a couple of those, and that beer won something for
Wow.
Swelza. So that one's always good. But
I was
the
more of a
Misfit lager-
Kahuna Matata kind of guy.
They also had a dark Czech lager that was on. I like those darker beers, and that was very tasty.
Okay, cool.
That's what I remember drinking. But super nice night there at Swelza, and every time you go in there, it's just relaxing, and it's a home run every time.
Gotcha.
Nice place for the kids to play outside. They have a nice little deck you can sit up and look at the water outside. Great spot. They built it out nice. Incredible beer. Great people running it. Very, very nice all around. If you are here visiting for vacation or you're a local, Swelza's got to be in your regular rotation.
Okay.
The beer is just that good.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay.
So that was number one. That was
All right.
an easy one to check off.
Okay. Easy one to check off. All right. As we take a sip. Take a sip. Okay. All right.
I need to get me more of this.
Uh-huh. So
number two. Let's move to Red Drum Grill and Tap House.
Red Drum Grill and Tap House right there on the
Right.
beach road, a little
Now,
ways down from
I should say,
Swelza.
so to give everybody some more context to this, so it's a Misfit Bar Tour. Each of these restaurants or bars, they are represented by one of the Misfit toys from the story. When you go to when Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer goes to Misfit Island,
Right.
there's all the Misfit toys. Each one of the restaurants is represented by one of those toys, which I thought was kind of fun. And some of these restaurants leaned into that a little bit more than others. Red Drum was the giraffe.
The giraffe. Okay.
I forget what his deal was,
Well, it's all right.
but it was kind of a fun thing they did. So there's stamps. So when you go to any of these restaurants to get your passport, to get on the card, you pay $10.
Okay.
And that goes to charity, Outer Banks Relief Foundation. Mm-hmm. And then you have your card, you go around and get stamped. When you get your stamp, it's that Misfit toy. And so they ink it with that. Right?
Okay. Okay.
And then there's 15, which sounds like a lot. And if you get to 10, you get an ornament. So your 10th stamp, all of the bars, all the restaurants, they have this ornament, 2024 Misfit Bar Tour. I have mine on my tree right now. It looks beautiful. And so you don't have to finish. You can start this. You don't have to finish it because it is a cumbersome task to go to 15 different places. But you at least get that ornament at 10.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty cool. If you finish 15, then you have a little tab you tear off at the end of your passport. You turn that in at any of the 15 bars. It goes into a big pool for everyone who finished, and they draw it at the end. December 31st is the cutoff date. First prize is a $100 gift card to all 15 restaurants.
Nice.
Very nice.
Dude, that's balling.
Big time. So I get an ornament and possibly a $100 gift card to 15 different restaurants. That's like,
bangers.
Second prize, $75 gift card to all 15 restaurants. Third prize, $50 gift card to all 15 restaurants.
Sure.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Right. So that right there is worth, trying to get around to all these things to do it. And I think, again, for us, we are not new to the Outer Banks, but new to living full-time in Nags Head. It was a good opportunity to explore some of the really cool restaurants that are up here. I have always said, you have heard me say this, Justin, that the Outer Banks is a food destination. We have just so many different unique stops, bars, restaurants, tap houses, grills. We have so many things where they're all individualized, unique. They're doing their own thing, and the quality is just off the charts.
Right, of course.
So this restaurant community is always working together to elevate and to provide an awesome experience for everybody. Mm-hmm. And that is what I saw while I was going around to these 15 different restaurants.
Okay.
Was that this was just, and I have some stories from all of these. We can get into that, but
well, we're glad to have you on this side of the beach.
A lot of fun to do. Yes. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad to be here. So let's talk about Red Drum.
Let's do it.
Now that we have the background all set up. So you go into Red Drum. Red Drum is on the beach road. Right on the north side of Nags Head. Hard to miss it when you're driving down the Virginia Dare Trail. When you go into Red Drum, it is very nicely decorated. They went with the oversized ornament look. So they have these hanging from the ceiling everywhere. I was with Rory live at the time. You have interviewed Rory on your show before. Mm-hmm. He described it as being Susie, which I thought was very appropriate, as in Dr. Seuss. That kind of look to it. But kind of a cool place when you walk in. On the right-hand side, there is a bunch of... it's a social area, and there's a bunch of foosball tables, and I believe there was a pool table, and there was kind of a hangout spot over on the right-hand side, separated from the main restaurant and the bar. Okay. The bar is in the back. Very intimate feel. It's a bit of a smaller restaurant. And there was a lot of like wood texture to everything, which made it feel very cozy inside. Okay. You're sort of surrounded by this sort of holiday theme with the decor. The comfort of the wood, you felt good being there. It was loud without being too loud. It was crowded without being too crowded. We sat at the bar and we were able to get our cocktails and our food. Red Drum, one of the few places that had both a Misfit cocktail menu and a Misfit food menu.
Perfect.
So if you had a Misfit, so most of the restaurants had something, right? But for us, when I was like thinking about this, it was like what's qualifying for a Misfit menu item would be something that is only served this time of year during the holidays because of the Misfit Bar Tour. Right. So you would go and they would have special Misfit menus printed up, and I would sort of look at that and say, okay, I have to get one of these. Yes. You move away. I can go back at any time and get something on the regular menu. For the Misfit Tour, I'm getting the Misfit menu. Right. Okay. So at Red Drum, there were several holiday-themed cocktails. Jess got the Little Drummer Boy.
Little Drummer Boy. Okay.
Kind of like a White Russian.
They have a rum
a little bit like a White Russian, but lots of holiday spice. And they put gingerbread crumbs on top.
Oh, okay.
So I tried it, and I'm thinking to myself, you've seen The Big Lebowski, Justin?
Oh, of course I've seen The Big Lebowski.
It's like the
Caucasian.
During Christmas. Yes, right. The dude during Christmas, the Caucasian. Very good. Good pull. So that was good. I had the Yule Mule.
Okay.
That had Tito's. So a lot of the bars in the Misfit Tour. I don't know if it was all of them. It's just the ones that were they advertised they were doing this. Tito's somehow partnered with the Misfits, and if you ordered a drink with Tito's in it, Tito's took. They were donating to the Outer Banks Relief Foundation for a certain percentage for whatever. So I try to gravitate toward the Tito's based drinks because of that.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
So Red Drum was one of those, and the Yule Mule had. This was a new one for me: spruce syrup and sparkling cranberry. So It was, and they was all in these Misfits collectible cups. So a lot of the bars had, I think all the bars had them. They were red and green Misfit Stadium cups. Like at the Wreck, we have our Wreck cups. It's the exact same thing, but for the Misfit Bar Tour, which I thought was a nice touch. It was a good detail. So you can have a collectible item to take home with you if you order one of these cocktails.
Pretty rad.
Food. They had, this is one of the few places that had a separate food menu. On that menu was shrimp queso, and that is what the bartender recommended. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Have you ever had a shrimp queso?
No, I don't believe so.
Neither have I.
Okay.
But if you want one, it's available at the Red Drum Tap House and Grill.
Okay.
We went for the sausage balls.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have them.
Yeah, and so that was, and they were good. Now they came out, so I'm just going to preface this by saying these sausage balls were good. I will get them again for sure. But it came out and they had your ball sitting on your plate and you put your fork in it. And it was a little bit like in Christmas Vacation when Clark Griswold cuts open the turkey and it like explodes.
Oh, wow.
The ball kind of fell apart. But like, you're eating it anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But,
still good.
It was very good. Very, very good.
Okay.
So awesome experience at Red Drum Grill and Tap House. It's actually the closest of where we live now. That is the closest location to where we live. So that could be a regular stop for us for sure.
There you go.
Shout out, by the way.
Okay.
Next to Red Drum Grill and Tap House is Salt Hair Salon. I started taking my kids there, and that is a top-notch haircuttery.
Forrest Davis. Is that right?
That is Panda Daniels.
Okay. Sorry. I'm confused.
So Panda Daniels is running that shop. She doesn't cut my kids' hair because she is way too busy and booked out. But this is the location that Surf and Spoon. That was the original location. Then they got big and had to move, and then Salt Hair Salon moved in. And I think this place has grown. Like, you can't get on Panda's schedule if you tried. But there's other people who cut hair there, and my kids got awesome haircuts in the back, and this is why I'm going to go back there. It's like one of those. There's like a separate area in the back, and it's got like an old school barber chair.
Okay.
Like from like way back when. And it's like a separate little man cave area, and there's like a bottle of bourbon, on the desk in front of the chair, and it's like if you want to get, a man cut, you can go and have a nice experience back there. And it's just, it's just great.
Cool.
Top-notch. Panda is great. She's got an incredible Instagram. I wasn't into Instagram hair until I sort of saw what she was doing, but she's very good at like taking her pictures and
nice.
That's big shout out to Salt Hair Salon.
Okay.
Another Outer Banks business that is killing it.
Got it. Okay. Who's next on our bar stop?
How about the Kill Devil Grill?
Kill Devil Grill. I love the Kill Devil Grill. Great food there. Tell me about it.
So, here's the thing. Kill Devil Grill really went above and beyond when it comes to festivities. They're like, okay, we're doing a Misfit Bar Tour. It's a holiday bar. Let's lead into that, right? You pull into the parking lot, and I'm not kidding you. Have you pulled in the parking lot?
Not since they started Misfit Bars.
As soon as it feels like you have arrived at Christmas. Like they really did it. Yeah. So that was great. It's decorated inside and out, very thematic. You walk in, holiday music. Now this is cool. I don't know how often they do this, but when I was there, they had a legit Santa Claus in the restaurant. Kids coming up to Santa, having to visit with Santa, taking pictures. So it was like a full out Santa. And this was not like a cheap, low grade Santa. This was like a legit Santa.
Okay.
Like this guy is Santa Claus 12 months of the year.
Oh.
Just waiting for this time of year for him to come out. Like this is authentic.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. They did not cut corners on their Santa Claus.
Okay, good.
But I mean, the decor was just incredible.
Okay.
Like they really, you felt like holiday music. I mean, you felt like you were at a holiday restaurant. That's what it's supposed to be all about.
Amen.
It's a different kind of, different time of year. We're doing a different thing. They really leaned into it, and they just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Look at that.
Like I felt like I was coming. I've been to Kill Devil Grill before. I love Kill Devil Grill. This felt different going into Kill Devil Grill for the Misfits.
Okay, cool.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Cocktail menu. They have 7 specialty cocktails. I tried the Rudolph with your nose so bright. Now,
okay.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I had a little thing called college, and since then I have not been able to drink tequila.
But
I can drink mezcal.
I've heard of it.
Right. The college, and it was not good for me when it comes to tequila. I still cannot drink it. Now I'm in my 40s. But mezcal, I like very much.
Okay.
And they had a mezcal-based cocktail. That's Rudolph with No So Bright with it was with grapefruit juice. And I was kind of like mezcal and grapefruit. That sounds kind of wild. Let's give it a go. This was a great cocktail.
Okay.
So much like with the decor and the festivities, they didn't cut corners in these cocktails either. So these are high-grade ingredients, and again, served in your collectible Misfit cup. But real pieces of grapefruit in there, and it just this cocktail. So Jen, the general manager, was there. Jen has been on the show before. I believe.
Yes.
Super nice, super nice. She happened to be there behind the bar, and we were chatting, and I was like, Jen, this cocktail is incredible. And her direct quote was, "Every drink should be composed as a dish."
Oh, look at that.
I was like,
It's
Jen,
poetic.
that is very poetic.
Yeah.
But, you could tell their heart and soul goes into the quality of their food and drink. And speaking of the food, I mean, I had like the best thing that is there. I mean, like everyone's going to have a different, but the cheesesteak egg rolls.
Oh, yes.
Holy moly.
Yes.
Those are incredible. I had to get them. Right, had to get them. They are not frozen. They're made fresh every day. They're hand rolled every day, and they're available both at Kill Devil Grill and Kill Devil Grill South.
Okay.
But they're a totally unique product, and just
okay.
that is, I could eat that every day, no problem. So I paired that with my Rudolph with the Nose So Bright. They also had a Santa Old Fashioned that had Mother Earth rye, North Carolina. Mother Earth is from North Carolina, so I like using North Carolina ingredients. That had gingerbread syrup and an orange peel. That cocktail menu, just from top to bottom, looked top notch. So
Nice.
I will go back and have more of those cocktails before the holiday season is over.
Okay.
So overall, that menu. So I was sitting there at the bar. Dan, the bartender, by the way, super nice guy. He was there as well, and he does some workout classes out at Dowdy Park. And I've worked out with that guy before, and he is beast mode.
Beast mode.
Yes.
Okay.
So like super incredible bartender by day, beast mode trainer by night. And he's a lot of fun to talk to.
Okay. Cool.
But they were bringing back these dishes, just walking by me at Kill Devil Grill, and every time something went by, I was like, "Oh my god, like that looks amazing." I am not a meatloaf guy, Justin. I think meatloaf is weird, but
I think
these plates of meatloaf were going past me at Kill Devil Grill, and I was like, "I want to dive face first into that thing that looks and smells awesome."
Okay.
But here's what I noted on their kids menu. They have a legit smash burger available on their kids menu, and that is not something I had seen before. You can have a burger on your kids menu, but it's just like, here's your standard issue kids cheeseburger. This is a fresh smash burger. So kudos to them for doing that. 5 different desserts. All of them looked really awesome. Overall, I think they nailed it with the holiday theme. They nailed it with their cocktail menu. Incredible food. And the bar staff and the meatloaf platter both worth coming back for.
That was Kill Devil Grill.
Kill Devil Grill.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent. What's next?
How about Noosa?
Noosa Beach Grill.
Let me do a little
Cleansing of the palate, wetting the whistle. All necessary things. Okay. Good deal. I'm ready.
So Noosa. This was a fun time going to Noosa. So if you've driven by Noosa in the past few days, they have a 20-foot, it must be 20-foot Yeti. That thing is a monster.
It's big. It's big.
So that is pretty cool. Like, that kind of makes it feel like, hey, it's holiday time.
It's holiday time, yeah. That Yeti is big.
So nice decorations, you go inside. So I was there on trivia night, and you know me, I'm a sucker for trivia. We run trivia at the Wreck. It's one of our favorite things we do. Wednesday night is Noosa's trivia night. I will be there most Wednesdays for that.
With Greg Smurdell.
Yes, right.
I'm aware.
Their trivia is 5 rounds of trivia, each with 2 halves, and you wager points based off of the question and your confidence in your answer, and you win drinks from the bar. So it's a good time. It's free to play. Good group experience. I have a trivia question for you, direct from Greg Smurdell.
Let's hear it.
Okay, are you ready?
I think so.
If you get this right, I'll have to drink one of my Swells Misfit lagers. But if you get it wrong, you must take a sip of your beer.
Okay, all right.
We're
Deal.
going to make it interesting.
Okay.
This is the trivia question. This is the actual trivia question from Noosa.
Okay, let's hear it.
Spell the word mayonnaise.
Oh my gosh.
I thought this was diabolical.
MAYONAISE.
You, sir, must take a drink. There are two N's in the word mayonnaise.
Oh, I knew I was going to. Whatever. You're going to drink too, so it doesn't matter.
It's true. I was going to drink either way.
It's a win-win.
So their cocktail menu, same thing with the Tito's partnership. The one's the highlight, the Noosa Nog. So here's what's different about that. They house make their eggnog. I think that's really, like, they take time to make half the quality ingredients. House made eggnog with Four Roses bourbon in that Noosa Nog. I'm a bourbon guy. Four Roses is one of my favorites. We're using high-end mixers, high-end bourbons, making really, really good cocktails with those two things. The Pour Rudolph. That's with Tito's, pomegranate grenadine, rosemary, and sparkling cranberry. And then the Jolly Old Fashioned. These are all winners. They were just great. They don't necessarily have a food menu. So the Misfit cocktail menu was, there's a couple of things past what I just mentioned. Those are the highlights for me.
Okay.
On the food menu, they just have their normal food menu, which is very good. Mm-hmm. But I did want to point out on December 19th, I don't know when they're going to release this, but they are doing a food and bourbon tasting on December 19th. 4 flights of bourbon, including the very hard to find and fabled Old Rip Van Winkle.
Oh, really?
And Stag. Have you heard of that one, Justin?
I believe so. I feel like I have.
This is one of these bottles of bourbon that, like, people will drive across the country for and pay like $700 to get. It's like,
wow.
One of
I didn't
those
realize it was like that.
So, yes, Noosa got their hand on one of those, and they are sharing the wealth. And
look at that.
saying, hey, come and try this incredible bourbon on December 19th in a flight of 4 with Stag, which is another one. That's sort of the high-end one from Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
So Hunter is a bartender, awesome guy to talk to. And I was talking to him about this, I was like, wow, you're putting Rip Van Winkle on the tasting menu. And he's like, you know what? It's the holiday season and this should be available to everybody. We're giving it out to everybody.
That's pretty rad.
We're feeling this.
That's cool.
Totally rad.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that, to me, that was something special right there. I love that philosophy. I love what they're doing at Noosa. I like the trivia. I liked all of it. It was great.
Okay. Cool deal.
Noosa Scoops.
Noosa Scoops.
Next
now, this
door.
isn't your traditional restaurant bar. This is an ice cream.
It's not, one could say that this is a Misfit on the Misfit Bar tour.
Okay.
So their special is this is their Misfit special. You go in and they have a bunch of sodas and they have all of their ice cream. You can create your own float. You pick your scoop of ice cream, pick your soda. We'll put those two things together. Voila. Yes.
Okay.
I got my kid the vanilla milkshake. That is what he wanted.
Hey.
And it was a very, very good vanilla milkshake. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it.
They nailed that one. So it's easy to, if you're on this bar tour, you just do both those at the same time. Just knock those out. They're right next to each other.
All right.
Awesome ice cream shop.
And it's right next door, correct? And that what you
Right
said?
there, you just walk right across the parking lot, and
You're in
right
there.
Yeah, you're
got
in
it. So right there, Nags.
Just
across from
look
each
for the giant 20-foot Yeti.
There you go. This is a good landmark. All right. What are we? Where are we off to next, Joel?
We're off to
Oh Lord.
Lost Colony.
Lost Colony Brewery Waterfront Beer Garden on the Nags Head Manio Causeway. As you are pulling out one of their beverages, which one do you have in your hand?
This is I'm gonna go with the old classic. This is the by number of pints poured at the Wreck for the last 2 years. This has been number 1, the Lost Colony Hatteras Red.
Lost Colony Hatteras Red. Okay. As you pour, man, it's a beautiful looking beverage as it comes out.
It's a staple. This beer here comes compliment of the bartender at Lost Colony.
Okay.
Goes by the name of Dirt.
Dirt. That Dirt.
All right.
I've heard of him.
He's a character.
He definitely is that. He's something.
So Lost Colony, the first thing to say here is that on the 12 bars, and we should say that there are 2 separate bar tours going on here. There's the 12 bars at Christmas, and then there is the Misfits bar tour, which has 15 bars, restaurants, or ice cream shops. The 12 bars really leaned into, we were going to rebrand and rename, and we're going to make ourselves something different for the holiday season for this tour. The Lost Colony is really the only one who did that on the Misfit side.
Okay.
So Lost Colony is now Rudolph's Roadhouse.
Rudolph's Roadhouse.
And they leaned in heavy to the Rudolph theme, which I appreciated in a couple of different ways. One, anytime we were there and we watched like 20 different people walk in, and Dirt just greeted them all the exact same way.
That's
would be boisterous and loud,
Hey! Yes.
Right, yeah, like,
Yes,
but
in
like
the
loud.
Dirt style.
It's kind of like you go to Moe's and you
Welcome
get a
to
burrito
Moe's.
instead of like, hey, welcome to Moe's. Hey,
Yes.
to let you know, like you have arrived at Lost Colony.
Yes.
So, greeted loudly and proudly by Dirt the bartender, and he will give you your red Rudolph nose, and he will give you your Rudolph antlers to wear on your head, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Okay.
So that is just, I was looking for these things. It was just a little bit extra to lean into the theme and to, just be a little bit different to be part of this tour. And I think they nailed that. Now, the Lost Colony is all beer, and
Yep.
Lost Colony is a brewery, and this is a separate establishment from the Lost Colony Tavern, which is in downtown Manio, another awesome place. Go try the Scotch egg.
Yes.
Lost Colony, this is a bar on the causeway before you get to Manio, and it is a beer bar. They have 9 beers on tap, and their featured cocktail right now is the Rudolph.
Okay.
It is 60% Santa Slayer and 40% Hatteras Red, which is what I'm drinking now.
Okay.
So it's a mix of these two different beers together. Now, the Santa Slayer is pretty good.
Yes.
That is a double barrel-aged barley wine that I've said before will put some hair on your chest, and this one will put some hair on your chest.
Put that hair on that chest.
But it's tasty.
Okay.
It's really good. that Paul, he knows what he's doing.
Paul-
there. So double
Paul-
barrel-aged barley wine.
Paul Sharon is he's definitely a master of his craft. That is for sure. Yeah.
And I'm tasting that craft right now, and it tastes delicious. So we had some Santa Slayer. We had some of the Rudolph.
Okay.
Drank a full pint of that. What stood out to me at Lost Colony / Rudolph's Roadhouse, military theme. And for me, I'm a veteran. I'm still in the reserves. The entire wall behind the bar is just covered in a tribute to the military of the past and the present. And I thought this was very cool. While we were there, a old Navy vet actually came in, greeted by Dirt, and he brought with him in a manila envelope a picture of the destroyer that he used to serve on from a long time ago.
Okay.
The Harold J. Ellison, they used to call it the Happy Jack,
Happy Jack.
is now scuttled somewhere in the Persian Gulf. But he was on that back then. He brought in his picture of it. He signed the back, and Dirt proudly took it and said, "It's going to be up on this wall right here." So
And it'll be there.
And we got Jess and I got to see that, which is pretty cool. Dirt found out that I am a Navy veteran, and so he had me go sign the flag, which is right above the door. There's Air Force, Navy, Army, Marine Corps flags. I signed. It was the first time I'd ever done that. I signed the Navy flag, and it felt pretty good about doing that. That was cool. While I was up there, I noticed a little something. There's a young private on the wall. Looked a little familiar.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
looked a little closer, and I may have seen a familiar face.
Maybe so. That's maybe. You might have.
I might have.
And
Right.
there's a younger version of your bartender in the picture as well. Yeah, that was my mother took that picture of me at Fort Knox, Kentucky with my brother. And of course, Dirt being my brother, had it printed in black and white and took it to the bar, and Paul wanted to put it on the wall, and next thing you know, it's there. And now my buddy Mike at Carolina Barbecue Company in Manio has that same picture framed on his wall. So
Well, you might
That's
find it
pretty
framed on the wall of the wreck next season.
okay. Wow. All right. Okay. Cool deal. Well, so good time was had at Rudolph's Roadhouse.
Absolutely. So great stop on the tour, great atmosphere. Dirt is an experience all on his own. Oh, now they do have a mug club. I'm a sucker for a good mug club.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
And so I probably have to go and join that. So their first 100, I thought this was pretty cool. The first 100 mugs have long been sold out of that, but it's a 24-ounce mug and it's got a special design on it. That's how you know you're an OG. For everyone else, you get a 20-ounce mug, and it is kept there. It is labeled. You put your name on it. That mug is there waiting for you. And so you get a 20-ounce pour for the 16-ounce price.
There you go.
Always a good thing. So Lost Colony on the Causeway on the way to Manio. Go stop there and see Dirt.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Well, you definitely got some copious notes there, Mr. Joel. You have climbed through, and I mean, we're not even done yet. Let's keep going. What else? What else are we working with? I mean, gosh.
So some of the places that I may have not found on my own, but we'll definitely be coming back to.
Okay.
Have you been to Art's Place
Love Art's Place.
up in Kitty Hawk?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, first of all, they killed it with the decorations. You pull up in front of it, and there's just lights everywhere, and they really went for it with that. I appreciated they had a bit of a Danny DeVito thing going on, so a lot of Danny DeVito, there's like there's some life size cutouts, pictures behind the wall, like, So who doesn't like Danny DeVito?
No, I got you.
So I came at a good time. I walk in and they had live music, the Dockside Duo, and it is not a big place, but there was just something about the atmosphere in there. Everybody was just in the Christmas spirit, the positivity and the excitement. And people were wearing Santa hats and scarves, and they were just kind of dressed up and kind of like being in there hanging out. And there's only like 4 or 5 tables, but decent sized bar, and it was just full. Big takeout operation going on. So I was in there having my cocktail, and just it was a revolving door of people coming to get takeout. It seemed like mostly burgers that looked and smelled incredible. I'll be back for the burger for sure.
The burgers are absolutely phenomenal.
You had one. You had one of those?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I have, man. They're so good.
I probably have to be back there like tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, they're great.
It looked incredible. But just like you walked in and you felt you were in a happy place.
Yes.
I don't know how else to describe it.
No, that's great. Great description.
And Dockside Duo, like they were a really good time. I would have them down at the Wreck. They had 5 cocktails on their drink menu.
Okay.
I had the Christmas eggnog White Russian.
Christmas eggnog White Russian.
And it was great. So what was different about this one, they had Tito's peppermint schnapps, Kahlua eggnog, and it was a very nice touch. They garnished the rim with peppermint dust.
Oh.
So like took a crushed up candy cane, and I don't know if you've worked behind a bar before, but like getting stuff to stick on those plastic cups, not so easy.
No, yeah.
But they figured it out. They did it.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, like that one stood out, and it was really good.
Cool.
Really,
cool
really good. The eggnog really made it feel festive. The peppermint on the rim with the Misfits cup really made it feel like you had a special holiday cocktail, and just super high quality and really good. They also on draft have Full Steam beer, which is one of my favorites. Full Steam is out of Durham.
Okay.
Been to that brewery a bunch of times, and it's one of my favorites. And so I've not seen Full Steam at any other bar around the Outer Banks. That's the only one I've seen it actually be on draft. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, I'll be back for the burger. Small, but very, very cool shop. Stop in, ask for Ashley, the bartender.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing, and she will make you the best Christmas eggnog White Russian you have ever had.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Next door to Art's Place, Tap That.
Tap That.
I think maybe the dark horse for the most underrated bar that I was at. Was Tap That. Tap That was very, very cool. It's got a lot going on for it.
Okay.
And you've not been to Tap That yet?
I mean, I have been in there, but I've never been in there. I've been in there for business.
They advertise themselves as being a locals bar, but I'm not sure that it is. You're right there in a prime location on the beach road. And they have a lot going on for it. So they're in the summer, I imagine they're pulling in quite a crowd. They have a lot of live entertainment, including trivia. So trivia is on Friday nights, and you used to be in the radio business, Justin. Jody from 104.
Jody O'Donnell from Beach 104. I know Jody well.
He is calling it out. But you go in there, there's shuffleboard, darts, pool, keno, 2 of the nicest pool tables I've ever seen in a bar.
Really?
And that's one of the things. They do pool tournaments every Thursday. And it's usually the same kind of crowd. They come in, and the tournament board was actually up while I was in there. And it's a casual kind of like come and no one's taking it too seriously, but we're going to play, have a nice pool tournament and give out a prize for that. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to speak to Phil, the general manager. This guy has, great to talk to, and you could just tell the pride he has in that establishment is just coming off of him.
Oh, cool.
And he's very, like, the quality of his drinks matters to him. The cleanliness of the bar matters to him. He's like a very detail-oriented guy, and I can sort of tell from running a bar myself, like what he was looking at. So I had a drink there. He is very proud of his old-fashioned. He told me that he has heard, he isn't trying to gloat. Phil is he's a humble guy. He's like, I've been told that this is the best old-fashioned in the Outer Banks. But he is incorrect. It is the best old fashioned that I've ever had, period.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, look, you're taking it another step. Okay.
It's very, very good. Right. It's
Okay.
it's super well balanced and delicious. They use the right bourbon for it. So that one to me really stood out. But here's where the kicker is: it's Tap That has the only cigar lounge in the Outer Banks.
That's right. It's in the back.
It's in the back, and it's separate. You wouldn't know it's there unless you knew it was there, right? So
Right.
you go in there. There's a giant walk-in humidor. I mean, this is not a small walk-in humidor. And then the entrance to the cigar lounge is on the other side of that. Has its own ventilation system, so there's no sharing of the air. And I mean, what a cool place!
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of have it all. It's like this is why it's been
Drinks and cigars.
it's been under the radar, I think, but it probably shouldn't be because there's something for everybody.
I know a few people that help run the cigar side of things.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Tap That does not have food, but you can bring in food from anywhere, and Arts is right there. That's
Yeah.
a great. So go get that burger at Arts.
Yep.
Come hang out at Tap That, play some shuffleboard. It's a win-win. That is
Amen.
quite the duo. With
Yes.
those two
You
places
got that
together.
right. Absolutely. Good stuff. So, and they're right beside each other. What's that, milepost 2-ish or so on the beach road? Some people would refer to that as downtown Kitty Hawk. It's been called that before, which has always been strange to me, but okay, downtown Kitty Hawk.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
And those are the most northern spots. I think,
Yes.
on the tour. So
Yes.
Lost Colony Tap House, the way down the bottom, and then you had the Arts and Tap
Yes.
That all the way at the top. But Tap That, Arts, I will definitely be back to both those places, and I would like to be a regular at both those places because they were just those were awesome.
There
Both
you
those places
go.
were awesome. All right, how about Chili Peps?
Okay.
You been in Chili Peppers?
I have been.
I'm a big fan of Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers is good.
I like Chili Peppers a lot.
Food's great.
So unfortunately, I went to Chili Peppers at not the best of times just because the kitchen was closed. And I like Chili Peppers food a lot. And they had some stuff on their holiday. So they're one of the bars. They had, here's your Misfit bar menu. Here's your Misfit food menu.
Okay.
And I really want to get that food menu, but the kitchen was closed, so I couldn't do it. They had deviled eggs.
Ooh.
I know. I really wanted those.
Yes.
And what I really wanted was the pupusas.
Okay.
So I'll have to go back and I'll get those before they close that for the season. But they featured both the holiday drink and the holiday food menu, which was nice. Nicely decorated, not over the top, but you kind of knew the holiday theme was going on. They had a big menu, 10 Misfit holiday drinks on their special menu, all of them seasonal, and they are only available right now. What was different about that, though, 2 of those were shooters.
Shooters.
So 8 cocktails, 2 shooters. Only bar on the tour that had shooters.
Okay.
The first one, Naughty or Spice. I didn't try these, by the way, but I might be convinced to try one of them. Naughty or Spice, rum chata and fireball.
Okay.
2 good things. You'll shooter your eye out, kid.
You shooter your eye out, kid. I love it. That's great.
That's nothing but Rumpelmans and a chocolate rim.
That's hey, whatever. That's great.
If you're getting a shooter, you're after one thing, and that'll get you there.
Yeah.
On the cocktail side of things, a bourbon fruitcake smash. That was a good one. That has got maple syrup in it, bourbon. I think it was Bullet, as they were using. Mm-hmm. Orange, lemon, bitters, and soda. And that was a really, really delightful combo. Again, Chili Peppers for me is all about the food. They have a really big kitchen. It's a very diverse menu. And this holiday menu itself looks really, really good. Go get yourself some pupusas and deviled eggs.
Well, if you get a chance whenever you get a chance to go back there, let me know. I may join you. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
If you get there. Not no worries, but hey, if you think about it, hey, let's see what Justin's up to. That'd be great.
Love a trip to Chili Peps. Now, here's one that I had heard about for a long time.
Okay.
And had not been to until this tour. Trio.
Okay. I'm familiar with
What
Trio.
a cool spot. Trio is just, I mean, again, I was talking about the uniqueness and the diversity and all the restaurants up here. There is nothing like Trio that I've been to anywhere.
Trio up in Kitty Hawk.
So Trio, I believe it's called Trio because you shop, eat, and drink. So the shop side of things, you walk in, you're in a wine and cheese shop. That is in the front end of it. And not a small wine shop. It goes way back. We're talking like big time wine shop.
Okay.
And then really high end cheese. And so they have all those things up front, but in the back, there's a super nice bar and a very professional kitchen. So the restaurant side is in the back. You walk through the cheese shop to get there. And as you can imagine, their cheese and charcuterie boards are just off the charts. Off the charts good. Right.
Okay.
And a lot of really good wine too. But I think like the wine and cheese is kind of their specialty, but they have 22. They have 24 drafts. 22 of them are beer. 2 of them are draft cocktails.
Okay.
So of all the Misfit bars, Trio has the largest draft beer selection.
Okay.
I kept it with the local, and I got myself the 1718 Pretty Work Kolsch.
Okay.
Cold and delicious. And they also had the holiday cocktails and they had the holiday food. On the holiday food menu, I tried the King Moonracer's Misfit Skewers.
Ooh. That sounds
It was basically antipasto on a skewer, and it was all really, really good. Delicious mozzarella balls, nice little vinaigrette on there. It's a great little hand snack.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would describe Trio, like the bar, again, this is like a very high-end bar. The bar staff, professional is the best word I can use to describe them. Like these are not like summer hired help coming to work at your bar. These are bartenders who do this professionally and care about their craft.
Okay.
And the atmosphere there, like you can tell, like looking into that kitchen, that they knew what they were doing back there. I want to go back and eat a whole lot of food at Trio. What I would come back for, the seafood risotto.
Okay.
Local scallops, and their signature crab cakes. I want all of those things. And I want them very, very soon. I didn't have time to get them while I was there. But
Maybe I'll go to that one with you too.
that bar was just really comfortable to come sit at. It's like a bar, like if your mom's in town, you want to take her out for a glass of wine or something, that's where you go.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. Good to know. Good to know. Now, yeah, okay. I was thinking Pony in the Boat. They're right down the way from there.
For sure. They're next door to each other.
That's right. Okay, I thought so.
So Pony in the Boat is it's just a really good restaurant. And you know, they haven't been there too long, but I think they're growing. I will definitely be back. I think what they specialize in, at least what I think is kind of their niche, is they do an incredible brunch.
Okay. So I haven't been there for the brunch. My wife's company Christmas party has been there the last couple of years. I didn't make it this past year, but I did go the year before. Food was phenomenal.
This brunch is phenomenal. I haven't been there outside of brunch, so that should be a disclaimer, but I will be back. Okay. For sure. Pony in the Boat it seems like a bit of a hidden gem, right?
Yeah.
Like that brunch was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Okay.
So again, there's Trio right on one side of the parking lot. Pony in the Boat is on the other side of the parking lot. They have Bananas Foster pancakes, which I have not seen on a menu outside of the Pony in the Boat.
Yeah.
And so that was really special. But the chicken and biscuits Benedict, that's another one where I have just never, I'm a brunch guy. I'm a breakfast and brunch guy. I have never seen a chicken and biscuits Benedict.
Oh, okay.
And so this had a poached egg and chipotle hollandaise along with your chicken and biscuits. Then the combination it just hit.
Okay. Good combination.
I mean, I'm a sucker for a good Benedict. I mean, you and I both share a passion for Cafe Pamlico. They have an incredible brunch and they got a great Benedict. This Pony in the Boat is like, it's as good, except it's right up here in Kitty Hawk.
It's on this side of the bridge.
If you're down in Hatteras, you want a good Benedict, you go to Cafe Pamlico.
Okay.
If you're up here on this side of the bridge, you want a good Benedict, you go to Pony in the Boat.
Okay. There you go. A little tip.
Good. I actually really like their decorations. They leaned into the Santa theme a bit more. So they cleared behind the bar. They kind of cleared everything out and they just put up a bunch of Santas, a bunch of like ceramic Santas. There's
nice.
a big Santa up on the bar. Fits thematic. You feel like you're in a holiday bar. They did a good job with that. Pony in the Boat's a winner for sure.
Okay. Cool deal.
What do we have left, Justin?
Oh gosh, I was looking. I'm thinking what we've got. A few. We've got Salmonomi's, South of KD8.
We got some good ones. All of them are good. Like this is the thing. Every time I left one of these bars, I was just like, that was awesome.
Right.
I'm sad I have to leave, but I'm excited to go to the next one. Let's talk about south of Kill Devil Grill.
Okay.
South of KDG. This just opened up. December 9th, they opened. So brand new, and it is located right next to the Outer Banks Hospital.
Right. Yes.
So
in
it's
what's
in that
called
shopping
the Outer
center,
Banks Mall.
in the Outer Banks Mall. But if you're in the Outer Banks Mall, you're looking for south of KDG. You might have a hard time finding it right away. You got to wrap around the corner, go toward the hospital. It's on the front side. I could stand in front of south of KDG, throw a football, and it hit the side of the hospital.
Yes, you can.
Right. It's right there. So here's what I noticed pulling up. If I pull up to Kill Devil Grill, I feel like I've arrived at Christmas.
Oh, another. Okay.
I pull up to south of Kill Devil Grill and I get out of the truck and you just smell everything happening. and you're about to get some good food.
Right. Okay.
And I get that the parking lot smell. That was my immediate impression of like what was going on there. So they're in a mall. I don't know what the rules are for what they can decorate. I think they did everything they could do there. It's not undecorated. It's like compared to Kill Devil Grill.
Yes.
There's only one other bar they can compare, which we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
But you walk in. We are greeted by Brett, the owner.
Okay.
Super nice guy. So Jen and Brett seem to be running the entire operation, and they're doing an incredible job. So talking to Brett, we own a restaurant, and we're kind of curious about like, hey, you just expanded, you opened this place up, what's going on? And the main reason he opened south of Kill Devil Grill was to do things they couldn't do at Kill Devil Grill itself.
Okay.
Specifically with capacity and seating issues. So like what we love about Kill Devil Grill is it's kind of like a throwback. You're in sort of like a 1950s diner-esque kind of environment, right? So it's a lot of booths. So if you wanted to have, and everybody people I'm sure ask Brett all the time, hey, can I have my party there? Can we go and have a group of 20 come in there? It's very hard to do.
Right.
It's just how it's set up. So they have some capacity issues there, which we understand because Wreck isn't, that big itself. So his idea with opening Kill Devil Grill is what can we do here that we can't do there?
Okay.
And I think he nailed it.
Okay.
So now if they have big groups come in, they can do that. That's how they can get the same food, get the same drinks, but now they have a space that can accommodate the larger party sizes. Also, what I like about Brett is that he prioritizes locals in a way. Not that he doesn't prioritize out-of-town visitors. Be very careful how I say that, but he's kind of like, hey, like some of my best customers, I see them in the spring and then I see them in the fall, and then I see them again, like, hey, where were you? And they just don't even try and get in during the season because they can't.
It's crazy, yeah.
And so he wanted to find a solution to that problem. So his solution is, if you are a local and you live here, there's a reservation system available at south of KDG that is available only to locals. So if you're local and you call and you're looking for a reservation, you will have one.
Oh,
that is in June, that is in July, and that is in August. If you are local and you want a table at his restaurant, Brett's going to give you one.
Oh, very nice.
And I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty rad.
Right. But they also had some really killer food.
Okay.
So they had 8 craft cocktails on their menu. What stood out to us, though, is they did have a holiday menu, and they had a chimichurri cheesesteak that was out of this world.
Wow.
Absolutely out of this world.
Wow, that sounds good.
So we split that in the Southern Fried Chicken Salad. The Southern Fried Chicken Salad is one of their specialties. It's obviously.
Yes.
I mean, when you get that next to the chimichurri cheesesteak, it kind of like, the chimichurri steak, we've never had a cheesesteak like that. Like that just.
Right. Now I've had that salad you're talking about, and I like the fact that it's at Kill Devil Grill. They kind of go ahead and you don't have to you can just start eating it. A lot of salads, it takes you 5, 6, 7 minutes to prepare. I like that one because it's already done pretty much. So, anyways, that was a good time over at South of Kill Devil Grill. It sounds like the way that Mr. Brett there is treating the locals.
Mr. Brett and Miss Jen, go and find them, and Dan the bartender.
Okay.
We got 3 left.
Okay, let's hear them.
We're gonna do the Collywood tour last. So let's do Sam and Omi's.
Sam and Omi's, yes.
Have you been to Sam and Omi's?
I have. Yes.
How cool is Sam and Omi's?
Yes.
This is a place I have driven by and maybe have not had gone into if it wasn't for this tour, and I'm glad we did because Jess and I had an incredible time there. So this is their 87th year.
Yes.
87 years.
They've been around for a long time.
It used to be where you go and book fishing charters before they opened Oregon Inlet. Turned into a restaurant. 87 years later, here we are. Super comfortable, local. You feel like you're at home. Very Outer Banks. A lot of wood tones to everything. You go up to the bar, and the bar has pictures of locals with their giant fish they've caught. That kind of feel to it. But they're. You walk in there and it seems like sort of a local divey bar, but then their quality of drinks and food reminds you immediately that it's a little bit more than that. So their cocktail menu, they had 11 cocktails. This is the largest holiday cocktail menu available on the Misfit Tour with 11 different cocktails. We tried the White Winter Cosmo.
Okay.
Again with the Tito's partnership, Cointreau, lime, white cranberry juice, garnished with cranberries. They also had a alcoholic coffee. We call it the Fireside Coffee, and that had Bailey's and Kahlua. They didn't have a menu for the Misfit tour, but we did get the 2 specials of the day. Tortilla soup, homemade, was great. But what will be our winner, I just talked about the chimichurri cheesesteak, and it was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
They had a prime rib French dip that just blew us away.
Okay.
So Thursday night at Sam and Omi's, they have prime rib night. Friday, whenever there is leftovers, they do they do their French dip special using the leftover prime rib. Best prime rib we've ever had. I mean, this is just absolutely incredible. I will be back there every Friday for this French dip.
Okay.
Awesome. Had the pleasure of meeting Karen, the bartender. Karen has been there for 35 years.
Yes.
Wow. And she is a gem.
Yes.
Absolute gem.
Absolutely.
What a pleasure talking to Karen, the bartender. Karen also who provided us these wonderful Misfit Bar Tour glasses. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Sam and Omi's.
Yes. Thank you, Sam and Omi's. How awesome.
Bit of nostalgia. Sam and Omi's are old school, man. They got pen and paper checks. So like Karen handed us our bill handwritten on an old school waitress pad. We're like, wow. I don't do it like this anymore,
you don't see that anymore. That's pretty rad. Yeah, that's how they are.
Loved all of it. Sam and Omi's must stop. We'll be back on the regular.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So what we got? We're doing our Collington tour.
Of Collywood.
There's
2 really cool spots in Collington. You have the Blue Crab Tavern. Mm-hmm. That is an absolute experience.
I haven't been there. That's one place I haven't been.
Such an experience.
Okay.
It is very much a divey. It is for locals, and I say that because you're sort of off the beaten path there. You're tucked away back in Collington. You're sort of away from the beach road. Most visitors aren't going to travel to where you are there, but they probably should because it's great. This is a cash only bar. You feel the history and the nostalgia when you walk in. We have cans of PBR, cans of your Misfit. Misfit. They actually have a pretty big beer menu. They got a lot going on there, but I appreciated sort of that sort of divey feel to it. But let me tell you something, Justin. This was the bar that went above and beyond when it comes to decorating and decor.
Okay.
It was incredible.
All right.
So you're talking like strings of lights. They went all over the ceiling, everywhere. I took a picture of it for you.
Let me see this picture. Let me see it. So they went above and beyond strings of lights.
They went Santa hats on the back sides of the bar stools.
Okay, I see
Then you go outside.
That's pretty rad.
There's like where they usually do music in the summer is a nice screened-in porch out by the water. That's converted completely into like a little North Pole. They got a giant light-up Christmas tree. They got a big giant crab. They got a little crab pot. It's thematic all over. They got a whole Christmas tree lit up down by the water out on the dock.
Oh wow!
Just lights everywhere.
Okay,
everywhere. They really went for it. Like this to me was above and beyond with the decorating decor, leaning into the theme. Being a Misfit bar, I loved all of it. I had an incredible time there. I'll absolutely be back to Blue Crab Tavern. They don't have food, but there was a food truck parked right outside.
Okay.
And it smelled awesome. Now, we were given this koozie from the Blue Crab. So RG, the owner, this was her favorite slogan is shut the fudging door.
Yes.
And that would be the Blue Crab with the door open, the AC gets out and all that stuff. So that's her go-to saying. Now, what happened was she was diagnosed with cancer. She beat that cancer.
Oh, okay.
So there's now been changed to shut the door on cancer. They have that printed on their koozies. So this is a pretty cool one.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. That's a keepsake.
It's a keepsake. I really like Blue Crab. Last, but certainly not least.
All right.
And this is another couple you have had on this show.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, the Saltbox Cafe.
Randolph and Amanda.
I have some things to say about the Saltbox Cafe. That was incredible. Amanda and Randolph. Oh my gosh, they're great people. But what an incredible restaurant.
Yes, amen. Holy smokes, yes.
I was completely blown away by the quality of food. So what struck me is one, being a bit of a foodie, being a restaurant owner. This menu is put in front of me, and there's things on this menu that just tell you they know what they're doing.
Yes.
They have things that you don't have on your menu unless you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And this is also Randolph is also the kind of owner who's going to walk around and talk to the people at the tables. He's kind of walking around making sure everybody's okay, and obviously everybody was okay. Mm-hmm. And so I did, got to chat with him a little bit, and he's been around. He's picked up culinary experience in a lot of different places. I appreciated the Cajun flair in a lot of dishes. Like my dish itself was the Cajun shrimp and grits. And he was a chef in New Orleans for 8 years. And so there's some things he brought with him to that menu that you just can't find anywhere else in the Outer Banks at the highest of quality. I mean, this was a delicious meal. Every step of it. And I got the, on their holiday menu, they had an eggnog cream pie.
What?
Eggnog cream pie. That was a dessert. Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
So I will be back to Saltbox absolutely on the regular. Amanda and Randolph, very, very fun to talk to.
100%.
This is a very special restaurant.
Yes, it is.
I can't say enough the nice things about the quality, the service, the quality of food, the vibe when you walk in there. They did have a separate area. It was we weren't cool enough to get in there, but reserved for the Misfits. There's a whole separate. When you walk in, the main restaurant's on the right, but there's a separate indoor area on the left. That's for the Misfits if you want to go and hang out there. For their, they were leaning into the theme, like they chose the Jelly Squirt Gun as their Misfit toy, which is a little bit like,
yes,
it's very like on the island of Misfit Toys. This is probably like the least like he's in there for like a second. That's what they wanted. Apparently Randolph wanted that one.
Yeah, he did.
And they're like, how do we do the, the Jelly Squirt Gun? Someone who works for them is a paper mache wizard. Because
made one and hung it from the ceiling.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
That belongs in a museum.
Yeah.
In the words of Indiana Jones. So it was a great way to cap, I think, these 15 restaurants. All of them very special, unique, high quality. Loved visiting all of them, and we'll be back to each and every one of them on the regular. But Saltbox Cafe as a restaurant was out of this world.
Okay, excellent. Well, Mr. Joe, hey, very detailed, very in-depth look at each one of these individuals.
All of them deserving of it because they're really the effort that these owners and the staff are putting in. It shouldn't be understated. Like they are really like putting themselves into making this work.
Okay,
I really appreciate that, and I want them to have success with this. And I want the Misfit Tour to last for years beyond this and grow. They did a really great job with it. I believe Jen was the original organizer. Yes. She, again, she's incredible. She did the vision for this is there. And I wish that this is something in Hatteras that, I wish that the Wreck could be a part of this, You
never know. You could be the spearheaded effort for something like this.
Maybe we have a Wreck pop-up bar in Nags Head, something like that.
Hey, that'd be killer. Well, Joel, again, I appreciate you coming in and going through all this. I love the energy and the dedication that you put into going into each of this. I would like to maybe, if it's okay with you, have you back and do something like what you did at the beginning of 2024, kind of like a forecast for 2025, looking at some of the events. Is that something you might be interested in?
Hey, you give me the date, I'll be here, man.
That's my guy.
I'm
there.
About 5 minutes down the road now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not. That's beautiful. When Joel told me that he was moving from down in Hatteras, down on Hatteras Island up here to Nags Head, I got excited, but then I kind of got sad for a second because I was like, wait a minute. What's going to happen to the Wreck? And he's like, I'm keeping the Wreck. I was like, oh, hallelujah. So it all worked out really good. Well, Joel, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving me some time to talk about all the different bars. And I know they appreciate it too. Did we leave any mental stone unturned?
For me, this tour, it was less about the journey and more about the friends I made along the way.
There you go. That's killer. That's killer. Well, Joel, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it for real.
In one word, how would I describe the Inn on Pamlico Sound in Cafe Pamlico? That's easy. Unparalleled. The Inn on Pamlico Sound is a full-service European-style boutique hotel. Their rooms are all tastefully decorated individually to give you that at-home feeling. Cafe Pamlico is a casual, fine dining restaurant on the water offering brunch daily and dinner nightly. They also welcome large parties, have wine tastings, and live music. Reservations are recommended, and be sure to ask about on-site weddings and catering. Visit them online at inonpamlicosound.com. The Inn on Pamlico Sound and Cafe Pamlico in Buxton, a hotel and dining experience that is completely unparalleled.
Let's be real. No one wants to deal with nasty varmints like mice, roaches, creepy crawlies, and critters. Leave that work to the experts at Outer Banks Pest Control. Outer Banks Pest Control is the best on the beach when it comes to eradicating those unwanted creatures. They've been in business for over 25 years with well over 100 years of combined exterminating experience. Specializing in both commercial and residential properties, Outer Banks Pest Control has all the tools and equipment necessary to take on any pesky job. They pride themselves on top quality customer service and workmanship. Hey, if it ain't red and yellow, it's just some coattail riding fella. Outer Banks Pest Control, the best on the beach with a proven track record of excellence since the year 2000 and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Yes, Outer Banks Pest Control's actually, they're making an appearance here in our office. Not at the moment, but they have been. We have a pet raccoon that has shown up right above my office, where my office is in the building here in downtown Manio. Pet raccoon has shown up, and he has been doing a lot of dancing up there lately. And we figured, it'd be best if he danced out in the forest or in the woods or the marsh with his friends. So we've called Outer Banks Pest Control. They have removed said raccoon, and we are so thankful for them. Outer Banks Pest Control would love to help you with any of your varmint situations. All right, now we're going to take a look at some events. And again, all of these events and more can be found online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. As I always like to say, please support your local high school and middle school athletics, whether it be wrestling, basketball, swimming, whatever athletic events taking place right now. Or, hey, let's take it a step further. Any sort of singing events, any sort of performances from like the choir or the band. Please show these kids some love and support, okay? Honestly, they deserve it. They work hard all year to do this and to play and to compete and to sing and to whatever the case may be. Show them love and support, okay, at all the local high school and middle schools, not just here on the Outer Banks. I'm talking about wherever you're listening from. Please give them that love and support. Tickets for the Dare Education Foundation Dueling Piano Signature event are still on sale right now. You can go online to dareeducationfoundation.org for more information. That's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. There's so many different things going on, like trivia nights. Check out Greg Smurdell, SMRDEL, Greg Smurdell, on Facebook and all of his trivia. He's got lists on his Facebook page of where you can find trivia each night of the week. I work for him. I do Wednesdays typically. I'm not doing it. I haven't done it the last couple of Wednesdays because I've been tied up, but Wednesday nights at McCraft's Burger Shack. So keep that in mind as well. Greg Smurdell, find him on Facebook, and you can see his lineup of places where he's doing trivia and people that are do the trivia with him throughout the Outer Banks. Oh gosh, live music across the board, karaoke nights all over, so many different things that are happening. I'm in the process right now trying to figure out what type of events are going on for New Year's. I had that question, a New Year's Eve or a New Year's Day down on Hatteras Island. I'm hoping I can get some responses to that. Let's see if I got any yet. Not yet, but as soon as I know, I will let you know. All right, back to the events. Trivia nights, I'm doing them at Wanchie's Marina as well, starting at 6:30 in the evenings on Fridays. Okay, that's a Friday thing. Friday, 6:30, Wanchie's Marina. I would love for you to come down and play trivia with me. Misfit Bars, hey, as Joel was just talking about all the fun he's had, that's going on right now. Make sure you go back to the standalone that we did for it to learn more as well from Jen and Susan. There we go. They would love to tell you a little bit more in that podcast that we did a few episodes back. And hey, I mean, Joel just ran through it for you. So you no reason to not go. And you can go online to misfitsobx.com to learn more about them as well. Oh, and don't forget about the Naughty 9 bar crawl that's going on in downtown Manio. There's 9 bars to choose from in downtown Manio. So go start over at Lost Colony Tavern. And Gino, he will be your tour guide. I'm sure he would love to do that for you. So, hey, Lost Colony Tavern, Naughty 9, participate, be there for it. Oh, gosh, let's take a look here. All right, here's just some things that are noteworthy coming up. This Friday, the 20th, an evening with Ruby Bridges, okay? Ruby Bridges, a civil rights icon. She's going to be at NC Coast up in Duck. All right, and that is, there's so many different things there. Autographed copy, you can get tickets for it online. You can go to eventbrite.com and you can just search an evening for Ruby Bridges. Get more information on how you can buy tickets for that event. It's this Friday, the 20th, from 5 until 9 at NC Coast in Duck. Oh, Jeremy Russell's going to be jamming out also on Friday evening from 6 to 9 at Buffalo City Distillery. Dude, I need to find time to go hear him play. I haven't heard Jeremy play in a long time. He's one of my faves. I think I'm going to get him on the podcast very, very soon. Maybe just kick off the new year. Let's see. Let me think about that. It's a good idea. Oh, gosh. The Goombers' third annual Bad Santa Claus Party. Look, Bad Santa Party. That's also happening. When is that happening? This Saturday from 9 until midnight, it looks like. Over at Goombers, right there on the beach road in Kill Devil Hills. That'll be a fun time. The Bad Santa Party. Ooh. Oh, and you can do a meet and greet with the Frozen characters this Saturday as well from noon until 2 over at the Bruin Station. Yeah, Anna and Elsa. Anna. It's not Anna. Anna and Elsa will be there. You can tell that I don't have daughters. Oh, Silent Disco is going to be going on that evening at the Brewing Station as well, so keep that in mind. Sunday brunch over at Fire Tender in Manio from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's something to think about. Brunch with the Grinch. Oh, that's going to be going on this Sunday as well from noon until 2 over at Stripers in Manio. Skipping ahead, looking down, Christmas coming up. They're having a Christmas Eve dinner over at NC Coast. If you're interested in having dinner with them, you can go to our website and you can click on that. Let's click on that real quick. Let's see. Oh, reservations. Pre-registration is required. So you can reserve your spot by texting 252-455-1791. Okay, to get your spot for the Christmas Eve dinner at NC Coast with Chef Wes Stepp. That's going to be good. That's going to be really good. Oh, let's see. More live music, things going on up and down the beach. Froggy Dog down in Avon. Trivia night at Whalehead Brewery in Corolla. Christmas crafts, part of the Misfit Bars. Oh, goodness gracious. So many different things coming up. And again, go online to outerbanksthisweek.com for more details on what is actually taking place. There's so much to do. So much to do. All right, take another quick break. Then we're going to wrap this thing up. But first, hey, my friends Macy and Kara recorded this for the Dare Education Foundation. Did a bang-up job. One-take wonders. It rarely happens that way, so I want to kind of tip my cap to them. So I'm going to let them right now tell you all about the Dueling Pianos signature event at 108 Budley for the Dare Education Foundation in downtown Manio. Girls, take it away.
Back by popular demand, the Dare Education Foundation Dueling Pianos signature event, presented by Town Bank, Friday, January 31st from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 108 Budley in downtown Manio.
Dance the night away to the New York Dueling Pianos while supporting Dare County Schools.
With a live auction and buy it now auction, fantastic food, and tasty beverages, this is guaranteed to be the party to start the year off the right way.
Get your tickets now at dareeducationfoundation.org. All money raised goes back to our teachers and kids.
It's a ton of fun for a great cause on Friday, January 31st at the Dare Education Foundation's Dueling Piano signature event.
Yes, I'm going to be out there helping with it as well. You'll see me running around having no fun. Well, I'll have fun, but just like I want my let me see. My buddy Barbecue Mike, you know Barbecue Mike over at Carolina Barbecue Company. He said it best when he said, "Man, I find pleasure in other people's pleasure." I mean, if knowing that you're having fun, I end up having fun with knowing that everybody else is having fun. So that kind of sums up my thought process. Anyway, I don't know that I forgot anything. I want to thank Joel for being on the podcast with me. That dude is 100% first class. He and his wife, Jess, got great kids, fantastic people. And I appreciate him coming in and talking on the podcast about the Misfit Bars and what he's experienced with them so far and all the fun that he's had. So appreciate that a whole lot. Next week, hey, it's Christmas week. Is there going to be a podcast coming out the day after Christmas? You betcha there is. I don't take no time off. Hey, no, I mean, I do, but like I will be recording it early. So just keep that in mind. But I'm going to have the SPCA on. That was a request from a listener and I've got to find the email, but the SPCA is going to be on to talk about how you can give back during the holiday season, in the season of giving, and how you can help find forever homes for the kitties and the puppies and whatever animals that they have there, and how you can donate as far as like if they need food. We're going to talk to them all about that next week. So Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode number 95, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. If it has doors, it can be yours, whether it be a car, a truck, an SUV, looking for a new shed to store some things out of your garage so that you can put your new vehicle in the garage. Check them out online at kellysobxauto.com. All right, that's going to do it for me. Have yourself a great and wonderful rest of the week, and I will see y'all next week. Merry Christmas to you, because it's not going to be till after Christmas before we speak again. Merry Christmas. Hope it is everything you want it to be and more. Spend it with family, friends, however you want, and enjoy it. And remember that He is the reason for the season. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.